All right, let's continue getting reaction to that development around this government of national unity as proposed by the ANC. The Youth League's president is Collen Malatji, who joins us now via our video link. Collen, lovely to have you on the SABC News channel. Thanks very much indeed for making time to speak to us. I suppose it goes without saying you're likely to agree with the decision taken by the mother body. The question, though, becomes what would be the ideal composition of this government of national unity, at least according to the Youth League?
Look, South Africans have not given us a majority to govern on our own, but they've given us an opportunity to test us again, like they tested us in 1994, to unite South Africans behind one objective of building a non-racial society, a society that is united, a society that will build an economy that creates jobs for everyone. Now, we've invited everyone who's willing to participate in that, because we've agreed part of our objective is that we need the economy to be restructured to accommodate the majority of South Africans. Now, everyone that agrees with that perspective to build a government of national unity is welcome to engage with the ANC. We're not arrogant. We're not a majority party anymore. We're the largest party, because there's a difference between a majority party and the largest party. A largest party is a party with the largest votes, but we have no majority to govern. Now, it's a will of South Africans. We can't go against what South Africans want. South Africans want us now to work with everyone to build one nation. Also, we're not in this thing of people saying that there's what we call black parties and white parties. The ANC has never fought for this democracy to divide society. We're saying everyone from all racial groups must come. Those who believe in building a South Africa for all must come and join hands with the ANC to build a government of unity.
Sure, I hear that, and I take absolutely nothing away from what you've said. But I'm sure as an organization that represents the interests of young people, you have a wish list. If you had things go your way, what would this government look like?
Look, if I had my way, the ANC will be over 51% and we'll be governing on our own. Now, at this point, this government is the president of the ANC, because the ANC is constituting government. Now, we'll be inviting everyone who's ready to implement the nation-building principles of this country, and anyone who wants to come in who believes in that, will work with them. We are not arrogant and we're not going to be choosy. We know that there are political parties. You know, the painful part about South Africans, they've even voted for political parties that have no offices, you know. That is a painful part. You don't even know where to meet with them and engage with them. And when you don't meet with them, you appear to be arrogant. But the South Africans have made their decisions on what they want the votes to be like. They voted for political parties. They told us that they want the ANC to renew itself. They want the ANC to get rid of corrupt leaders from the ANC. But they later voted for some of those leaders. Now, we're saying that let's find out engaging, but obviously we're not going to work with anyone that does not believe in our renewal agenda, does not believe in building an economy that creates jobs, because part of the problems the ANC was punished for, it's a lack of a growth of the economy that creates jobs for the youth. Now, we want to resolve those issues. We got a warning shot, and we're very radical now on how we want to resolve our issues, to resolve the socio-economic problems of our people.
Yeah, you speak about South Africans voting for an organization without officers. My interpretation for where I'm sitting, and you'll correct me if I'm wrong, that's a veiled reference to the MK party. They're the new kids on the block coming through and garnering more than 2 million votes. The Youth League has had choice words for the man who leads that organization now, former President Jacob Zuma. I think it was the Secretary General of the ANC Youth League who was asking questions around what kind of future an 80-year-old would have if they were to get into government. Has that position changed in a context where many people are saying, frankly, it would be dangerous not to have an MK party form part of the government, given just how much support they've amassed in last week's election?
Look, we're going to elections, and we're still anti what the MK stands for in most cases. The leader of the MK still says that he's a leader of the ANC. Is a member of the ANC and activist of the ANC, while there's a political party called MK, which is also a leader of. There's just a lot of confusion around that political party. But it's very difficult to even know whose leaders are. You know, it's got a lot of dodgy characters around it. But look, South Africans voted for them. they gave them a percentage to be in government. I know one day South Africans will learn to realize that as part of them punishing the ANC for acting slow on the restructuring of the economy, out of their anger of high level of unemployment and problems that they're faced with, they end up falling into traps, because when society is angry over certain things, they'll end up making big mistakes that will affect them in the future. But what can we say? South Africans voted for someone who is 84 years or 82 years, who does not have a clear direction, who believes that the country must be divided according to kingdoms and tribal lines. What can we say? You know, it's a very painful situation to see. But also to blame as the ANC, maybe we're too slow on our nation-building agenda, where we're building one South Africa, where there's no tribal groups, where people are not seen according to racial groups, where the objective is to build one united South Africa, where majority of South Africans are free from poverty and high level of unemployment, where the majority of South Africans participate fully in their own economic activities. I think as the ANC, we take full responsibility for that, but we're self-correcting. South Africans says that bring everyone on board who wants to assist you to build a better South Africa. Yeah. And let's see if you can do that. And the president of the ANC yesterday has proven beyond doubt in his closing remarks that we're back where we were in 1994. We're calling everyone now that let's join hands to protect what we have, because people thought that if the ANC is below 40, there'll be chaos in the country. We've proven beyond reasonable doubt that we'll always lead the South Africans whenever we're needed to lead moving forward. We will never blame anyone. There were complaints about IEC perfection, but we said that, look, we can't plunge the country into a crisis. The best thing we must do for South Africans is to protect what we have, build from it what we have built the past 30 years, and make sure that we impress South Africans so that in the next elections, they give us overwhelming majority to govern moving forward.
Yeah, no, to be fair, you know, even President Cyril Ramaphosa last night thanked everybody, no matter who they voted for participating in this democratic process. So you're absolutely right.
Yes.
The NC's response to this has been one where hopefully they're able to move forward. But let me ask the question before we lose this point. Given what you've just said... Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, just to add on before I ask this question, you know, when the ANC fought for the democracy in South Africa, they don't fight for the ANC to be the rule alone. They fought for South Africa to have a democratic system that protects all interests of everyone and their rights in South Africa. Now, it is not about the ANC, it's about South Africa.
Got you. All right. The question I was going to ask you is, given what you've just said about the leader of the MK party seemingly not having any kind of direction, I mean, inferences you're making to his age, what advice are you giving as the Youth League then about these ongoing attempts to meet with the party in order to see if they're even interested to form part of this government of national unity? Should the ANC just drop it?
Look, we have advised leadership to not stop engaging people. But remember, there are times when engagement must end and must form government. We don't want people to go around lying and say that they've been excluded from the engagement of government of unity. Because government of unity, the advantage of it is that you even speak to people that you don't ordinarily speak with. Because you can't say you want to unite South Africa, but saying you can't speak to certain people in society. Engage them, educate them, induct them on the agenda, try to bring them closer. Those who want to clean themselves out of that government of unity, they must do that voluntarily. But South Africans must know that the ANC, when they've called upon them to unite South Africans, we're the first to come to the block. We've put our pride aside. We've put our personal vendettas aside. We said, let's bring everyone from all racial groups, tribal groups together to build one South Africa.
Yeah. Anybody who's been watching the political landscape in the country as it continues to evolve knows that there's no love lost between the ANC and the DA. As recently as yesterday, there were some members of the ANC who look relatively young, so I think in some ways they see themselves being represented by yourselves as the leader of the Youth League, being unequivocal that they do not want to see any kind of collaboration with the Democratic Alliance. In fact, I think one of them went as far as to say that the DA is a racist party. Those are strong words for people with whom you're trying to build. What's the Youth League's position on that?
Look, it might not be easy if DA comes on board for people to fully accept it because of their conduct in the past. You know, DA has done a lot of scary things that they must apologize for. ANCYL has made a lot of racial comments. They've went as far as banning the flag of South Africa. You know, those are things that we need to stomach when we're dealing with government of unity. You know, South Africans have not given us a majority to build, but also a lot of people who are saying the DA is a racist political party, they are also sounding an A sometimes because they have some language that they're creating that we need to build a black-only bloc. You know, that's not what the ANC stands for. The ANC stands for a non-racial society, and the ANC will rather go out of power if it has to move out of its values and founding principles, because those are the founding principles of the ANC, and what the ANC believes in is what many leaders of the ANC, the Tulis and many others died and fight for. Now, the ANC can't move away from its character, its non-racial character, to accommodate some fallacy that there is some black uniting against white in South Africa. We can't do that. That is not an ANC character. Now, we'll educate them. Most of them are young. They are mobilized by certain individuals who want to influence a direction that is not there. But anyone does not believe in the non-racial character of the ANC must leave the African National Congress. And those that have been marching in the name of the ANC without engaging our structures, will engage with them. If they don't stop, I don't believe there's any organization that will ever exist without disciplining its members. And I think that's one of the areas we've been weak on, you know. We need to discipline our members. Our members who are ill-disciplined must be disciplined because we can't run an organization that lacks discipline. Now, those who are members of the Youth League, will call them in and direct them and try to educate them. If they're failing to be educated, we'll discipline them.
Sure.
And we'll advise the ANC to do the same with its members.
Very quickly, do you reckon they acted out of turn?
Look, they are mobilized by elders who want to influence us to bring some MK leaders via back doors. You know, there are some MK leaders who want to come back to the ANC via back doors. Now, who believe that the ANC must be an only black party, which we don't believe in. Those are not our principles. Now, we'll engage with them to take them out of that thinking. We know a lot of young people, as we said, the democrats are clear, a lot of young people are unemployed. Even in the ANC, we have a lot of young people who are unemployed, who now and again are used by elements who are funded by people who don't know. You know, political parties are funded in 5 months. They've got teachers, they've got banners, no one can explain it. They're funded by drug lords, they're funded by regime change forces. And most of these people who are saying that they're a pro-black organization, they are funded by capitalist institutions that mainly are owned by white males who they say they are against. But we know the objective is not to fight for the black majority. The objective is to remove the ANC out of power and instill a government that is not ANC, and do participate in the regime change agenda. We know their plan. Now, that's why we're not even frustrated around how they're operating.
Who are these elders who are mobilizing these young people within the ANC, you say?
But we know very well that an MK party led by an old man called Zuma from Nkandla formed a party to erode the ANC base and take the ANC out of power for a regime change known by him. Now, we know that is one part of those who are playing an underground role to mobilize people. If you can check, some of the people are in their marches, they are fully linked to Jacob Zuma. Now, we know very well that it's always been a plan to collapse the ANC from within. They failed. Now they've decided to create an institution to collapse it from outside. They're still going to fail. Now, we're clear that the ANC is a very big giant that will unite South Africans against anybody who wants to derail the 30 years of democracy program that we have protected with everything that we have.
All right. I just want to make sure that I'm following here. So you're saying part of the people who were protesting outside the Birchwood Hotel yesterday may very well have links to elders who are trying to destabilize the ANC from within because those elders are connected to the MK party. Is that right?
Yeah, if you can follow some of those people that were, if you can do research properly, you will see that most of them, they've got serious links to MK party.
Wow.
Some of them were in the EFF. They moved from the EFF. They went to the PA. They moved from the PA. They went to. I'm saying the person that was speaking on behalf, saying that is a young person of the Youth League. He has been in more than 5 political parties until he goes to the. Now, those are agendas that have been put in there to undermine the ANC from within and external, but they won't succeed because they were very vigilant as the movement.
All right, Collen Malatji, I think we'll have to leave it there. Something tells me we'll have a whole lot more conversations as the situation clears up. Collen Malatji is the president of the ANC Youth League for now. Thanks very much indeed.